Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. On this episode, I have myself in my Panther, which I've recently started playing again. I ground through that probably right at the beginning. I started playing 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. One of the very first lines I went up and pretty much never touched it again, on and off here and there, one battle. And I put a new crew in here, so I've been goofing around with this, doing the Kursk missions because it's one of the tanks that will make the easier missions available, or typically the missions that take less effort as far as number of battles. So I've been playing it a little bit, and it's got the long, pretty nice penetration. What is it, a 75 or some kind of gun on there? Yeah, it's a 75 armor piercing with 135 damage, but 198 pen at tier 7, which is pretty good. Little pew-pew gun, reloads very quickly. So let's talk about, we're not going to talk about an epic game though here. I'm not going to show you the 5,000 damage or even 3,000 damage Panther game. I am bottom tier, and we're going to talk about bottom tier effectiveness, which is something I try to cover quite a bit because it is a subject that is near and dear to the heart of the 357 victims that play World of Tanks right now. The question then is, all right, well, how am I effective at low tier, especially if I am in a medium, and how about low tier medium in a city map when I have things like Mauschens and Lows and that kind of thing sitting around in big TDs? Well, the trick is to find some place where you can be effective, and it starts with the analysis of the match. I look at this and go, well, I clearly don't want to go down to Tank Alley, or what I think the Russians call the Banana Road, down on the 7-8 line. That's not a good idea. I could go there and be annoying. I have talked about that in the past. It's got pretty good pen. But more than likely, I'm going to be singled out and shot by the Mauschen and every other heavy down there first. So you look at Himmelsdorf and you go medium. All right, the hill sounds like a pretty good idea. You could go over to the west, but I don't really like to fight over there. There's not much there. It is pretty stagnant and limited opportunity, really, especially with a Sturb and a Scorpion. Look at all those TDs sitting back there just waiting for somebody to even attempt to come down that open area or down the 3-line road. So and immediately I say, all right, let's go up to the hill and see what we can see. I may need to run away. I may need to just hold for a while, but let's see what we can see, and I want to try to be as effective as I can in my low-tier medium by making good decisions and going to good places. So the first thing I saw was that Bulldog came up top, and the TER was up here first because he's a bit faster. So initially I'm going to hold, but the Bulldog bailed. And that tells me something right off. Now he kind of looks again because he's probably thinking, all right, I'm going to make him think I'm still here, or maybe there's friends coming up. But he's bailed, and now he's bailed big time. He's headed down. I give it a few potatoes, and I'm going to wait and see if anybody shows up. But as I count noses down below, I really don't think there is much going to be up here. So initially then, because we have all these guys stacked up in this road here, this is a great spot to shoot them, and I'm, of course, going to miss right there. And now it's time to see if I can't farm some damage. I got the M449. Now there is a TD. We got the SU-152 has eventually come up. He's taken some hits, but he's not doing a whole bunch. So counting noses, and from what I can tell right now, it looks like we don't have much here. I'm going to take a shot on the Tiger 1. Put another shot into him, but of course it goes into armor not penetrated because it hits the worst angle ever. And then I pen that same angle, so that makes sense. And come over here, sort of ignore the Tiger for a minute, see if I can get some shots on these guys. That's going to eat a shot from the Tiger. So that was a poor decision on my part. Get my driver hit. I should have just stuck with shooting at the Tiger instead of looking for other targets. Boom, there's the artillery. They've found me. And at this point, because there's artillery shooting at us and all those guys are looking at us, I'm starting to think, all right, let's try something different. Let's change what we're doing. We'll leave those guys for the moment. We are starting to win. I'm also looking at what's going on the Banana Road, and we've got guys coming around in the front of them, and I'd like to actually get behind them. So the first thing I've got to do is clear these guys out. So I got an SU. He can ruin my day, especially if he pens. He backs up. As he's backing up, both his dispersion gets larger, and of course his aim is made more difficult. So I'm now able to take this position where I can get my gun on. I don't have the depression unless he gets back behind there and lets me go a little bit downhill. And now I'm starting to consider, all right, it's time to get in there and see if I can take this 152. I'm wondering if he's got any friends going to come around. I'm also wondering why my friends aren't helping, but they've decided to sit up there and snipe. And that's the exact wrong answer right now, because there's just not many targets. I guess they're goofing around with the SPIC trying to get him. That guy's hiding back there. They're playing peekaboo with each other. The hit points are down here, and the battle is going on down here. You can see the 103 is pushed in, and the 263 is work on the Mauschen, but he's about to get flanked by that T-49. doing a smart job. And we have 2 of our tanks just sitting up there. It is not time to sit up there. We got to come down. We got to start clearing guys out and get around behind them. The whole purpose of going up that hill was to flank. And to flank, we've got to kill the guys in front of us so we can get around the ones who are not looking at us. So I'm just going to take the corner off of this poor Su-152. It's absolutely abused. So we take him down, and now I am looking. I'm thinking the Malshin might be coming after me, so I'll wait for a minute. Let's see if he comes around that corner. No, he seems to be busy. He's decided to go the other way. So I'm watching him both on the map here and on the mini-map, and he does not seem to be coming at me. If he basically, at this point, if he shows up down there, I'm in big trouble because I'm going to have a hard time taking him down. But now that he is looking the other way, I'll come around the corner, and we'll put a shot in there. That was dumb. Probably should have put it in the back of the turret. Let me get guys I can shoot. Nope. Tried to kill him, but I actually went into the side of the Malshin. Now he's moving that big gun. He misses. Excellent. Another shot into him. And you can see the pew-pew nature of this gun. Just takes a while to get through. I know he's got a long reload, so I'm just taking the opportunity here to poke a little bit out and see if I can't get this Bulldog or T-49 dead. Nope, that misses. Oh, there goes the T-49. He's about to make a run for it. And I don't have enough alpha to kill him, but he does. Down he goes. Shot into the lower plate, not going to do a whole bunch. I sort of need a friend at this point. The Scorpion's going to come in here. He misses. Actually, he shoots the 49, and down he goes with the 103. So I'm able to get in behind there and be effective, not because I laid out tons and tons of damage, but I got him fighting in 2 directions. And that's the most important thing with either changing an angle locally in a tactical fight or a more map strategic flank where I'm able to come around from the other side of a map, is to make the Reds look 2 ways, and they simply cannot fight in both directions, and you've got a huge advantage then because you can poke out, etc., etc. I'm raging in here at this point just to see if I can get 1 more hit point of damage. There we go. Got one in there, and I won't get any of the 103-0. The Sturv goes down pretty quickly. So 1,800 damage. It's, you know, it's not a 5,000 damage game. Hell, it's not even a 2,000 damage game. But it is being effective at lower tier. And there's a thought process through the whole thing. It starts at the beginning. Where am I going? It's not just a... You don't just approach it and go, bottom tier, I'll just go over here and shoot some guys and, you know, maybe I'll be good or not. If you want, you could do that. Feel free. If that's the way you want to play the game, go for it. But if you're looking to try to improve the stats, get better, think more strategically about the game, you take a bottom tier, which you're going to have a lot of, game, and try to figure out how to be effective. And those are actually satisfying. Because I looked at this and I went, all right, yeah, 1,800 damage and a kill. But still, I had a lot to do with how this game was won, especially breaking open that final nut to crack of the Malshin. By the time I came down, we were in control. We had a pretty good setup. It was probably going to be a win, even had I just driven off the top of the hill and crashed down onto the banana road and died. This team probably would have won based on it being 14-4. But I was able to speed that up. I was able to be effective, get my gun in the game, add some hit points along the way, and based on where I went and what I did, I was an important part of the win. And that's kind of why I think why we play this game is sometimes that teamwork thing comes in there. Sometimes you can actually be effective down at the lower tiers. And the better you get, the more often that is. All right, that is all I have for being effective at lower tier in my Panther. Cool tank, actually. The gun is really weird that long, but it is a cool tank. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Keep on supporting the channel in all the ways you do it, and we will see you.